If you're one of those people who always worries about how much they're spending or always stress on saving more money, the kind of people who always thinks about saving more money, whose entire day mostly consists of the thing going on in their mind that they are going to save this amount of money for the month, etc. Well, then you're living your life wrong, and that's also one of the reasons why you're not making enough money. Let me explain why and how just worrying about saving more money and just worrying about how much you're spending is actually like forcing you or barring you from making more. The first and the obvious one is that is just takes up a lot of your time. Like just imagine a person who's always thinking about how much they're spending or how much they are supposed to save for a month or for the day. Like you just won't be able to think about anything else. Even if you're out with your friends for dinner or lunch, you'll always worry about how much you're spending or how much you're saving or the least expensive dish, etc. Like you will not even be able to live your life to the fullest. You won't be able to enjoy. There's always be a back thought of saving money and just spending as less as possible in your mind, which will just drain your brain to the extent where you won't be able to take efforts to actually make more money. And if you just keep focusing on how much you're spending, it'll always be more stressful to you, because no matter how much you spend, it'll always make you feel like you're spending a lot because of the mindset you've already built for yourself. When you always focus on saving more money or how much you're spending, like when you literally own like a small diary where you note down how much you're spending and how much you're saving, etc., like it just drains you completely. Like you will never take efforts on making more ever. That's because all your efforts which are needed to be taken over here are drained into just calculating how much you're spending and trying to save more. Honestly, if you're making anything less than 5 lakhs a month, which is around 5 lakhs in Indian rupees, then you shouldn't even worry about how much you're spending, because anything you spend will always make you feel like you're spending a lot because you're barely making any. So just stop worrying about how much you're spending because you're not even making shit. So what's the point of worrying about how much you're spending? You'll always feel like you're spending more. I'm not saying that don't worry about how much spending, spend and buy everything you want. That's not what I'm saying, because that also doesn't make sense. But what I'm saying is if you just keep focusing on how much you're spending and how much you should save, etc., then you will never be able to take efforts that are required to make more money. You can't just make more money by hoping for a promotion or a bonus. Like, of course not. Like that'll never happen. And if it happens, it'll be what, like 15%. Like that's 15% of 5 lakhs is nothing. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is just stop thinking about how much you're spending and how much you should save in the back of your head, because the only thought going on in your brain should be how do I make more, how do I afford this, how do I get this, how do I get that, blah blah blah. You shouldn't think about, oh shit, it's expensive, I should not spend this much money, oh should I have to save more. Like don't think about those like that's a brokey mindset. Never think about how much I'm spending or I have to save this, I have to save that. Always focus, like always force your brain to think on how to make more, how to create abundance. And there's also this like psychological trick where if you actually spend more, you will actually just force yourself to make more. But it's very risky, like especially if you have a family who kind of depends on you, then it's not advisable you do that. But if you can, then I think you should just go for it. If you have a mindset which just makes you believe that you can make more, then just go for it. It's very risky and it's not something I advise, but if you think you can, then just go for it. The worst case is nothing. Actually, what's the worst case? It is risky, so like don't just go broke and blame it on me. Just focus on making more money. That's what I'm saying. And if you need a psychological push, then just start spending more, because you'll just have to make more to keep up with that lifestyle. I'll say that again, it is risky, but it's kind of cool. Anyway, if you're one of those people who just keeps worrying about how much you're spending and how much you should save, and is just not living life because he's just trying to save money, then what's the point of living life if you're just focusing on that? Like, just like stop thinking about it and just start spending for once. It'll just force you to make so much more money. Like there was this case study where it like showed that men with a larger family were making more on average than men with smaller families. And that's not because men with larger families were smarter, or more hardworking, etc. They just had to make more money, so they were making more money. That's it. If you just upgrade your lifestyle and your mindset, then anything is achievable, honestly. And by the way, to have this kind of mindset, you can't be around people who don't have this kind of mindset, because it will just pull you down. So to make sure you have this kind of mindset, make sure to watch videos like this, or just make sure to be around people who share the same mentality, because if you don't, then you'll definitely fall back to your brokey mindset. Maybe subscribe to this channel or just watch some of the videos I have on this channel. It'll just help you keep up with the mindset you need, and just don't focus on how much you're spending and how much you should save. Like, that's fucking beta. So don't do that. Just spend and just worry about making more. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.